Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the fifth meeting of the Honolulu Liquor Commission. I see there are some minutes to approve. Commissioners may I have a motion.
Yes, Chair. Motion to approve the minutes of the 28th, 31st, and 41st meetings as previously circulated.
Second.
There's been a motion and second. Any objections, reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. The minutes of the 28th, 31st, and 41st meetings as previously circulated are approved. Before we jump into our calendar this afternoon, I just did want to make a note. We're having some issues with quorum. We apologize for that. So accordingly, there will be no hearings next week, August 10th, or the week following August 17th. The next time we'll be back here is August 24th. Please note also that will begin at noon and not our normal scheduled time of 4 p.m. So if you come at 4, hopefully we're not here. So just make that calendar note for your reference. At this time, we'll move into our calendar, calling in other business agenda item number 1, Liquor Commission, selection of Mr. Salvador Patilos for Honolulu Liquor Commission Administrator. Please come forward. State your name for the record.
Excuse me.
Salvador Patilos, Saldador Petilos.
Good afternoon. I think for this agenda item, I'll start by providing some brief context, and then I'll open it up to you, Mr. Patilos, for any comments you may have, and then we'll ask the public if there's any public testimony on this agenda item. So we as the commission have been charged with the responsibility of looking for the next liquor administrator. We have been doing this for over a year, it seems, at least a year. And we've been diligently trying to find and recruit candidates that would be qualified for this position and find the right fit. This is, of course, a crucial position for the administration. It's the head position for the administration. So therefore, as a commission, we deemed it extraordinarily important to find someone that we felt demonstrated the right qualifications, expertise, and also the right demeanor for this position. It's a public fronting position, and we wanted to make sure we had someone that we were confident that would be able to lead the commission and the culture of the administration in a positive way moving forward. So we conducted interviews, we recruited substantially, both locally and nationally. We had a qualified pool of candidates. We interviewed those candidates, and I'll speak at least for myself at the moment. Mr. Patilos, I found to be the most qualified and demonstrated extraordinary demeanor in our interviews and expertise on the subject matter. And we felt that he was best qualified to be in this position as administrator moving forward. Mr. Patilos, if you have any comments, you may make them now. You certainly don't have to, but if there's anything you want to say, please go for it.
I think let me just say that I'm honored to be provided the opportunity to serve the city and county of Honolulu as administrator of the Liquor Commission. I'm looking forward to working collaboratively with commission staff, the commission itself, the mayor's office, city council, licensees, and community stakeholders in improving our operations so that we may better serve the community.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone who would like to provide public testimony as to this agenda item number 1? Hearing and seeing none. Commissioners, any comments or questions for Mr. Patilos?
I just wanted to thank you for coming forward. For the public that may not have seen Mr. Patilos' record, he was previously the administrator of Utah, and so he comes to us with a lot of experience, so that we can have experienced eyes, but outside eyes to help us as we move the Liquor Commission forward.
Yes, I don't have any questions, but my comment would be, again, thank you very much, Mr. Patilos, for stepping up and willing to move into this or apply for this position. And yes, based off of all the criteria and information we reviewed, in my opinion, our selection is the most experienced to be able to take us to that next level and help us move forward with all the things we have out there, the reports, Wei Chun, everything that's out there. We take a lot of heart to the way you did your interview and the things you were able to share with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to make two additional comments for the record. One of them was spurred on by Commissioner Hollinger. The first, and this is in the packet for the public to review, but Mr. Patilas had an opportunity to meet with the mayor. The mayor does not have any formal say in who is appointed, but we did want the mayor to be able to meet Mr. Patilas and have a conversation with him and give us as a commission any feedback he may have. It's always good to have another pair of eyes and ears in the room when we're hiring such an important position. So the mayor was able to do that. There's a letter of recommendation and full support from the mayor regarding this appointment. And so we were pleased to see that and have that be a part of the record. The other thing I wanted to say for the record that Mr. Hollinger alluded to was the fact that as many of you are well aware at this point, Ms. Wei Chen conducted a system review on the enforcement side of the agency, and she presented her findings and recommendations a few weeks ago concerning that review. And so that was certainly a big part for us as a commission in any of our interviews to ask the candidates to see how they were going to respond to what was contained in that systems review and the recommendations that Ms. Chen had made for us. So that was certainly very significant factor in our decision-making process. And again, we as a commission felt that Mr. Patilas had very concrete responses to that report, has some very good ideas on how to move forward. And so we're looking forward to having you aboard and seeing that progress. At this point, if there are no other comments or questions, I will entertain a motion.
Do we need to skip agenda item 2 or can we just entertain a motion?
If you feel the need to go into executive session to discuss any of this, we can.
It's you.
Oh, no, I move that we approve Salvador Patilas for the administrator position.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Mr. Salvador Patilas has been appointed as the next Honolulu Liquor Commission Administrator. Congratulations. Thank you very much. We look forward to working with you. Agenda item number 2, no action is necessary for that agenda item. So we'll move into our public hearings. Calling agenda item number 3, transfer application number 22-24361 from K Restaurants LLC. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chairman, Commissioner Terry Lee, counsel for the applicant. To my right is Patrick Salmon, who's the general manager for Coconut Cafe. We've reviewed the investigative report, no changes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicants with statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Is there anyone who would like to provide public testimony as to agenda item number 3? Hearing and seeing none, commissioners.
I have no questions.
I move we approve application number 22-24361.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Transfer application number 22-24361 is approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Calling agenda item number 4, transfer
I'm sorry,
application.
Mr. Chair, may I ask a request that item 23 be taken out of order? I'm also here for that, and my clients are also present.
Is this a related?
Ohana LA Liquor LLC. It's a special
The
permit.
client is in the room, but not you, correct?
Yes, not him.
If you don't mind, we'll take it up after public hearings.
Okay, thank you.
Calling agenda item number 4, transfer application number 23-00982 from Dongne Ohana LLC.
Hello, I'm Mary Ferreira, Ferreira. I am with Dongne Ohana LLC. To my right is Mrs. Lee.
Good afternoon. Mr. Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicants with statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Is there anyone who'd like to provide public testimony as to agenda item number 4? Hearing and seeing none, commissioners.
Move we approve transfer application number 23-00982.
Second,
Got a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Transfer application number 23-0098 is approved. Thank you very much. Calling agenda item number 5, transfer application number 23-01090 from Island Distributing LLC.
Good afternoon, Chair Buckley and members of the commission. Neil Gota, appearing on behalf of Island Distributing LLC. Appearing with me is Aaron Pennington, the general manager. We have no changes to the investigative report. For the record, applicant has been operating on a temporary license with no problems.
Thank you, gentlemen. Mr. Rat.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Is there anyone who'd like to provide public testimony as to agenda item number 5? Hearing and seeing none, commissioners.
I have no comment, no questions.
I move we approve transfer application number 23-01090.
Second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Transfer application number 23-01090 is approved.
Thank you very much.
Calling agenda item number 6, transfer application number 23-01441 from 88 Pal Yamoku LNC Corp.
Hi, Mary Ferreira, Ferreira. I'm here on behalf of 88 Pal Ke'iomoku LNC Corp. And to my right is David Choi.
Good afternoon. Mr. Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Is there anyone who would like to provide public testimony as to agenda item number 6? Hearing and seeing none, commissioners.
I have no question.
I move we approve transfer application number 23-01441.
Second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Transfer application number 23-01441 is approved. Thank you. Calling agenda item number 7, application number 22-24441 from Rycroft Holdings LLC.
Afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the commission, Mr. Rai, Robert Uyoka on behalf of the Bodo Hotel, present to my right, Mr. John Teruya, general manager. This time we have no changes to the investigators report.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Mr. Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Is there anyone who'd like to provide public testimony as to agenda item number 7? Hearing and seeing none, commissioners.
so the only comment I'm going to make, Mr. Uyoka, is I do read on the report, right, that once this is finalized, right, you guys have to surrender, right, the prior issuance of the license for the floating restaurant.
Restaurant's gonna operate pursuant to the hotel license. Yes, so we'll cancel it.
That's the only question I had to confirm. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
I move we approve application number 22-2441.
Second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations?
I
Hearing
think there was one more for, but I think
Yeah.
we're okay.
Hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 22-24441 is approved.
Thank you so much.
Calling agenda item number 8, application number 22-24544 from United Sake Co Limited.
My name is Takashi Hirose. I'm Vice President of United Sake Company Limited.
Yes, may the record reflect Wayne Lucas Council. My voice is
problem.
like yours the other day. We have,
No problem. Good afternoon,
we have no changes to investigators report.
Mr. Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This matter was continued from the June 1, 2023 meeting. Public hearing kept open. This application has received 1 written protest, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. I will note that one protest is part of the package before the commission. Is there anyone who would like to provide public testimony as to agenda item number 8? Hearing and seeing none, commissioners.
The only question I just wanted to confirm, so the mailing and everything was correct as of right now, correct? Everything was done correct. Okay, that's the only question I have. Thank you.
I move we approve application number 22-24544.
Second,
Been a motion and a second, any objections, reservations, hearing seeing none, I also vote aye, the motion carries. Application number 22-24544 is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 9, application number 22-24951 from Fischler Enterprises LLC.
The owner, Anthony Fischler, is present with counsel Wayne Luke. We have no changes to the investigators.
Mr. Ryan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This matter was rescheduled from the July 27th, 2023 meeting. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicants met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Okay, Mr. Ryan. Is there anyone who'd like to provide public testimony as to agenda item number 9? Hearing and seeing none, commissioners?
I have no questions.
I move we approve application number 22-24951.
Second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 22-24951 is approved.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 10, application number 22-25078 from Nana I Katsu LLC.
Commissioners, Leanne Jones with Nanai Katsu, LEI-ANNE Jones.
Ms. Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you, Ms. Ryan. Is there anyone who would like to provide public testimony as to agenda item number 10? Hearing and seeing none, Commissioner.
I have no questions.
Move we approve application number 22-25078.
Second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 22-25078.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 11, application number 23-00044 from Sanoa International Inc.
Right, Mr. Suya, TSUYA,
TATSUYA.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He is the general manager and for the premises and he's also the son of the owners. May the record reflect Wayne Lucas counsel. We have no changes to the investigators report.
Mr. Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Is there anyone who'd like to provide public testimony as to agenda item number 11? Hearing and seeing none, Commissioners.
I have no questions.
I move we approve application number 23-00044.
Second,
Been a motion and second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 23-00044 is approved.
thank you.
Calling agenda item number 12, application number 23-00062 from Pacific Suites LLC, DBA Redfish Poke Bar.
Good afternoon, Robert Uyoka on behalf of Redfish Poke Bar by Foodland. Present to my right, Ms. Katrina Montan. She's a food and beverage operations manager. We have no changes to investigative report.
Mr. Chair, I will make a disclosure that the IOW does represent the employees at Foodland Supermarkets Limited. I am their direct representative. We do not represent anyone that works or is part of Redfish Poke Bar by Foodland, and this will not affect my ability to be impartial in deciding on this matter.
Thank you, Commissioner Hollinger. The disclosure is noted for the record. Mr. Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Is there anyone who'd like to provide public testimony as to agenda item number 12? Hearing and seeing none, Commissioners.
I have no questions.
I move we approve application number 23-00062.
Second,
Been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 23-00062 is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 13, application number 23-00063 from Pagan Eve LLC.
Chairman of the Commission, Greg Michelle, there is agent for the applicant. To my right is Evelyn Beckwith, member manager. We have no changes to the investigative report. We have been operating under a temporary license and several series of special licenses with no problems.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. Mr. Rai.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This matter was rescheduled from the July 27th, 2023 meeting. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you, Mr. Rai. Is there anyone who'd like to provide public testimony as to agenda item number 13? Hearing and seeing none, commissioners.
I have no questions.
I move we approve application number 23-00063.
Second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 23-00063 is approved.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 14, application number 23-00141 from HNL Burger Company, Limited Liability Company, DBA Honolulu Burger Company.
Good afternoon. My name is Ken Takahashi, KENTAKAHASHI.
And my name is Kia Augustine, KIAAGUSTIN.
Honolulu Burger Company.
Yeah. Mr. Rai.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This matter was rescheduled from the July 27th, 2023 meeting. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Is there anyone who would like to provide public testimony as to agenda item number 14? Hearing and seeing none, Commissioner.
I have no question.
I move we approve application number 23-00141.
Second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 23-00141 is approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Calling agenda item number 15, application number 23-00349 from TF Grasp Inc.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Commission members, Kenneth Lu appearing for the applicant. To my right, Gene Suzuki, SUZUKI, sole officer of the applicant. No changes to the investigative report.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Mr. Rai.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This matter was rescheduled from the July 20th, 2023 meeting. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application.
Thank you, Mr. Rai. Is there anyone who would like to provide public testimony as to agenda item number 15? Hearing and seeing none, commissioners.
I have no questions.
I move we approve application number 23-00349.
Second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 23-00349 is approved. Thank you very much. I'm calling out of order, agenda item number 23, application number 24-00190-1 through 24-00190-20 from Honolulu Liquor LLC.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Thank you for taking this out of order. I'm counsel for the applicant. To my right is Keola Ulu and Raymond Donato.
See here.
So this is a special application. Can you tell us a little bit about this? Is this to just operate a bar?
Yes, so we have pending a new application for a permanent liquor license. But as the commission knows, because of the challenges with staffing and whatnot, it's just been taking a very long time to get processed. So they're open and operating, but unfortunately unable to serve liquor. So we've decided to seek this special permit for a 90-day period. Hopefully, we won't need to use all 90 days, but we'll see.
you have a preliminary hearing scheduled yet?
Not yet. But it is being worked on.
Commissioners?
So the only question that I have is, so looking at the floor plan, right? I know that you have the structure and then there's some spaces that are gonna be licensed. Is that outside? Is that like with tables or is that with food trucks or?
That outside is the second floor, so balcony.
Okay, so. Okay, so that's all balcony then. That's
Yeah.
not anything that's gonna be on the ground. It's on a second story, you're saying?
Yeah, the second story is all upstairs. The balcony that we have, the lanai area.
And I'm just raising, so people know, right, if it's licensed area that doesn't, it's not enclosed on the areas. Anything that comes into that area or out of that area, right? You folks as the licensees are responsible for that,
Enforcing, correct? Yes, sir.
okay? That's the only comment that I want to make, that's no, beyond that, I have no other questions.
Yeah, I move we approve applications number 23-00190-1 through 24-00190-20 inclusive.
Second,
There a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Applications number 24-00190-1 through 24-00190-20 inclusively are approved.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Moving back up into our normal schedule for our calendar, calling agenda item number 16, applications number 24-00036-1 through 24-00036-20 inclusively from Kayak Cafe LP.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Stephanie Koba representing my client, and to my right is Mr. Conan Pike Rosa, Paik Rosa. He's representing Kayak Cafe LP. The only change that we had to the report is unfortunately under the partnership structure, it says Yarikuri Sushi. It should actually say Kayak Cafe. All the general partners, everything about the organization is exactly the same. They're the same partners and everything. It's just that somehow Yarikuri, Kayak, and the third one are all in process right now for getting their final licenses. So I think it was just an oversight and cut and paste problem. It's okay.
Thank you for the
Yeah.
putting out the record.
Thank you. But other than that, we have nothing to say.
So is this similar to the prior agenda item that we heard? There's an application pending and this is a stopgap for you.
Yes. I know when the gentleman was speaking just before I went, hey.
Okay, Commissioner?
I have no question.
I move we approve application number 24-00036-1 through 24-0036-20 inclusive.
Second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Applications number 24-00036-1 through 24-00036-20 inclusively are approved.
Thank you very much.
Calling agenda item number 17, application number 24-00045 from Coolson Catering by Cinnabon Inc. Granted Coolson Catering.
Good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Sheila O'Connell, event coordinator for Food and Catering by Sinu Blonde and authorized agent.
Thank you. Good afternoon. So this is a birthday party, first birthday party.
Correct.
Got indoor, outdoor, both set up in the bar inside.
Yes, bar will be inside, but courtyard and ballroom will be used for the alcohol. As always, our team will be doing our due diligence to be checking IDs for 21 and over. Also responding and making sure all alcoholic beverages are dispensed in clear cups.
Commissioner?
so my comment will be for all of your applications with you using the courtyard. I know as we're getting out of the season where kids are going to be going back to school, we still are kind of in that portion where there still might be out and stuff. Please make sure in the courtyard, we keep an eye out that people are not passing to underage individuals.
sir.
for all of the events. Thank you. That's the only
Season's
comment I
almost
have.
over.
Right, I move to approve application number 24-00045.
Second,
The motion and a second, any objections or reservations? Hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 24-00045 is approved. Calling agenda item number 18, application number 24-00064 from Pools and Catering by Sing Blunt.
Good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Sheila O'Connell, event coordinator for Cruise and Catering by Sino Blonde and authorized agent.
Good afternoon. So this is a 90th birthday party, same setup. Half the size of the event.
Yes. Bar will be inside as well.
Commissioners?
no questions or comments.
I move we approve application number 24-00064.
Second,
There's been a motion to second. Any objections, or reservations? Hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 24-00064 is approved. Calling agenda item number 19, application number 24-00069 from Pools and Catering by Sing Blunt Inc.
Good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Sheila O'Connell, event coordinator for Cruise and Catering by Sino Blonde and authorized agent.
Good afternoon. First birthday party, again, very similar to the previous agenda item. It looks like bars inside, both locations, inside and outside, are licensed.
Right.
Any other factors or considerations for this?
No, just bar will be inside and we'll be using ballroom and courtyard as well.
Commissioner?
I move we approve application number 24-00069.
second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections, or reservations? Hearing and seeing none, I also provide the motion carries. Application number 24-00069 is approved.
Thank you for your time, Commissioner.
Calling agenda item number 20, application number 24-00080-1 through 24-00080-51 inclusively from Kailua Lodge number 2230 Benevolent and Protective Order of the Elks of the United States of America. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Buckley, Chairman Buckley, members of the commission, Naomi Cole on behalf of Kailua Elks. Present to my right is one of the officers, Mr. Robert Hernandez. We also had submitted a permanent liquor license, and this is to allow us to be able to serve liquor while that's pending and processing.
Thank you, Ms. Cole, and it is pending and processing currently.
I'm sorry.
It is pending and
Yes, it
processing.
is.
currently.
Okay, I move we approve application number 24-00080-1 through 24-00080-51.
second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Applications number 24-00080-1 through 24-00080-51 inclusively are approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 21, applications number 24-00093-1 and 24-00093-2 from Village Events LLC.
Good afternoon, Commissioner. My name is Anding, ANHDANG. I'm on behalf of Village Events LLC.
Definitely. Can you just walk us briefly through your event?
Yes, it will be a night market event on a weekly basis starting in September till the end of October. We'll have about 20 to 25 food vendors, so food trucks, craft vendors, and we'll have a beer garden area. That will be the licensed area, and it'll be sectioned off. We'll have staff within the area to monitor the alcohol, the beverages, and checking IDs and wristbanding to 21 and over guests.
Great, thank you. Commissioner?
so this is in Pro Ridge parking lot, correct?
Yes, in front of TJ Maxx.
I have no other questions.
I move we approve application number 24-00093-1 through 24-00093-2.
Second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Applications number 24-00093-1 and 24-00093-2 are approved.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 22, application number 24-00110 from Hawaii Korean Chamber of Commerce Foundation. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioner. I'm the Korean Festival promoter, Russell Luke, LUKE.
Good afternoon. The Korean Festival is around the corner again.
Yes, sir.
Can you just walk us through the security protocols for the event?
Sure. Thank you, sir. Yeah, we, part of this major event, we have a special area that will be in controlled, secured area with tent. We'll have one entrance, one exit, that would be manned and secured by a private security company. Each person entering will be have their ID checked, as well as then banded if their ID is valid. They'll be able to enter, and we'll limit each hour for a 2-hour period where whoever's in there can max stay in 2 hours. After that, we'll cycle out a different band color, and then they'll get to exit. We'll cut off the band, and then we'll monitor the people. Again, the area would be secured and managed by not only the sponsor of this event, but also by the security that's specialized for this one area.
Great, thank you. That's a elaborate protocol. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Commissioners, and
Yeah, no, that's the first time I heard get them out in 2 hours. Get 'em in, so,
Yeah, we want to control that. Yes, sir.
oh, good luck.
So the two questions I have is one is for the 2-hour time period, do you guys have a set number you're gonna be letting in?
Yeah, we're trying to manage the number of people, probably like 80 people at the
Okay.
max. Yeah. So last year we did a little bit less, 60, but yeah. we're trying to do that.
Headspace still yet to use. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The next question is, I know that the red marking, I'm assuming that's gonna be your mesh wall, correct?
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
correct.
your
Yeah.
wall, but so there's 2 yellow dots. Is that gonna be table added?
The 2 yellow dots, I believe, are
Security
the,
extra.
Yeah.
No worries.
okay.
Okay, that's the only questions I had. I have no other
Thank
questions. Thank you.
All right. I move we approve application number 24-00110.
Second,
there's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing that, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 24-00110 is approved. Thank you.
Can somebody,
How many? I'm fine.
Calling agenda item number 24, application number 24-00199 from Memoirs LLC.
Afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Taylor Passion with Memoirs LLC. I am the general manager. And there are no changes to this investigative report.
Good afternoon. Could you just walk us through this wedding party?
Yeah, so this is a wedding we have with 80 guests. This will be taking place at LIQ Honolulu. It's a gated facility, private property that everyone needs gate codes to access. And the property will be monitored by my bar staff.
You've handled events at this location before, right?
Yeah.
and if I'm correct reading the report, there's no one gonna be under 21 attending?
That's correct.
I have no other questions.
Thank you. I move we approve application number 24-0199.
Second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 24-00199 is approved. Calling agenda item number 25, application number 24-00200 from Memoirs LLC.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Taylor Passion. I'm the general manager of Memoirs LLC. And at this time, there are no changes to the investigative report.
Thank you. So again, we have a wedding party, same location. Any other details for this?
There are no other details. This one's a little bit higher of a guest count, but no minors. And same thing, there's a gate access code that everyone's emailed, and it changes periodically too. So that's also good for security reasons.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner.
I move we approve application number 24-00200.
second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 24-00200 is approved. Calling agenda item number 26, application number 24-00201 from Memoirs LLC.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Taylor Passion, the general manager of Memoirs LLC. And again, there are no changes to this investigative report.
Great. So another wedding, Kualoa Ranch this time. I think you are also familiar with that location. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. This one for Kualoa Ranch, the park does shut down at about 5 p.m. where all of the guests and everyone from like using the park's entertainment are gone from that property. And other people that are let on are secured from the road by Kualoa's security. So
With the Kulo event, question is everyone being bused?
that is correct, sir. Yes. So I believe it's Royal Hawaiian. Thank you, Shelley.
All right, just making sure. Thank you. That's all the questions I have.
I move we approve application number 24-00201.
Second,
It's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 24-00201 is approved. Calling agenda item number 27, application number 24-00202 from Memoirs LLC.
Good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Hilary Passion, General Manager of Memoirs LLC, and there are no changes to this investigative report.
Okay, so final item for today, wedding party, Kualoa Ranch once again. Any other factors for this application?
No, sir.
Commissioners?
no more questions.
I move we approve application number 24-00202.
Second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 24-00202 is approved. Thank you.
for your time.
Moving into preliminary hearings, calling agenda item number 28, transfer application. Before we call agenda item number 28, the commission will take a brief recess. We are back on the record. Thank you for allowing us time for a brief recess. We will continue with our hearings calendar under the preliminary hearings, calling agenda item number 28, transfer application number 21-23067 from Waikiki Brewing Company LP.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the commission. Robert Uyoka on behalf of Waikiki Brewing Company, present to my right, Mr. Andy Fardy. He is the general manager, first name A-N-D-Y, last name F-L-A-R-T-E-Y. It's a transfer of our brew pub liquor license to a related entity.
Great, thank you.
We have no changes to the estimated report.
Thank you, Mr. Uyoka. Commissioners.
Outside seating, correct, on
It's
this floor plan, or is it just?
it's covered outside
Covered.
seating and there's a fence separating it. It's really enclosed. It's right along Alamar, right?
It's on the corner, color code.
Alamar.
That's the only question I have. Thank you.
Okay, move we approve that transfer application number 21-23067.
Second,
But I'm motion in a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Transfer application number 21-23067 is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 29, transfer application number 23-01552 from New Kamada Kitchen.
Chair, members of the commission, Greg Nishioka, authorized agent of on behalf of the applicant, we have received the investigative report, have no changes, comments or additions there to.
Right, thank you. Commissioners.
no questions.
I move we approve that transfer application number 23-01552.
Second,
Been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Transfer application number 23-01552 is approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Calling agenda item number 30, application number 22-24354 from Park Event Services LLC.
Hello, there, Vice Chair, members of the commission, Emmanuel Ziwakalam here on behalf of Park Event Services. To my right is Devin Nicola, authorized agent, and to his right, I will let him introduce himself.
My name is Jason partner in Park Event Services.
We reviewed the investigative report, have no comments. I can answer any questions you may have.
Great, thank you very much. Commissioners.
I have no questions.
I move we approve application number 22-24354.
Second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations? Hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 22-24354 is approved.
Thank you.
Very much. Calling agenda item number 31, application number 23-01684 from Way Family Group Inc.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. James Lee, representing Way Family Group Inc., DBA Honolulu Hot Pot Alley. Seated to my right is Mr. Jia Wei, the manager,
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
and we don't have anything to add to the investigative report.
Commissioners.
I have no questions.
Right, I move we approve application number 23-01684.
Second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections, or reservations? Hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 23-01684 is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 32, application number 24-00131 from MIBB number 2 LLC.
Michael Kioladui, owner operator, MIBB LLC 2.
Afternoon. So this is for a catering license, the Fridays in August. Is that correct?
Yes.
Commissioners?
so. The only question I have is, so this is the center courtyard area, right, of International Marketplace?
Correct.
And is there an event that it's going to be for? Is it just?
Yeah, the mall is doing some kind of event and they contracted us to do the bar there.
Okay. That's the only question I have. Thank you.
Okay, I move we approve application number 24-00131.
Second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations, hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 24-00131 is approved. Calling in agenda item number 33, application number 24-00135 from MIBB LLC.
Michael Kiranui, owner operator, MIBB LLC.
So this is a one-day catering event for a golf tournament.
Yes, sir.
Commissioners?
Have no.
I move we approve application number 24-00135.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations, hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 24-00135 is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 34, application number 24-00148 from Sodexo America LLC.
Good afternoon, Commission. Patrick Baugh, BAUGH, General Manager and Authorized Agent for Sodexo America LLC. This application is for the Nikki concert at the Waikiki show.
Great, thank you. Can you give us some details on the event?
Event is currently tickets are expected to be around 4,500. It could go up to about 6,000 if they have a strong walk up. Estimated age of attendees is between 20 and 30 is their average skew. Our standard procedures will be in place, wristbands, et cetera, everything in there. Multiple security, private and Sodexo employees along with HPD and sergeants were requested.
Great, thank you. Commissioners?
Only question I had is, I know that, I think the last time we had Sodexo for on the shell, I think they were talking if they got up past a certain number, like 4,000 or something like that with events, they might do plainclothes people walking around to keep an eye out.
Around the 45, we did at the last show, them all 3 nights, around 45 or 55 to 55 when they start getting in that area. We'll employ between 2 to 4 plainclothes employees that will go through and identify people, and then our uniform security will go up.
Okay, so you guys thinking if the numbers get high again?
Yeah, when they get around that, if it's a younger crowd around 5,000, if it gets up to that 55, 6 plus, then we'll do it pretty much every show.
Okay, thank you. That's the only question I had.
Okay, I move we approve application number 24-00148.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations, hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 24-00148 is approved.
You want to go ahead and take 36 and 37?
Oh, yes, they were a little out of order. We'll keep Sodexo together. Calling out of order agenda item number 36, application number 24-00181 from Sodexo America LLC.
Thank you, Commission. Patrick Baugh, General Manager, Authorized Agent for Sodexo America. This event is the sister, this one is the sisterhood. It is a fundraising event for UH football. The sisterhood is a nonprofit organization that's organized with the coach's wife. They use it to instruct a more female skewed in football, et cetera. So it's in a fundraiser event for that.
There any, you guys know if there's any number of ticket sales yet?
It is not not that I'm aware of. The last event they had just over 100. They're trying to get to that 2-ish, but I don't know that they'll get there. It's kind of an open all the way up to day of kind of event.
Okay. Because that's in the whole complex, right? Clarence Teaching Stadium complex.
Yeah, so we license the stadium. What happens is they show up, they have a brief intro, they take them to a tour of the locker room, they have video where they instruct them on rules, and then they actually do like tackling drills and stuff, but then they have boo-boos and everything. They're just trying to get the female audience engaged.
Sounds good. Okay. That was the only question I had, if there was like tickets or not. Go ahead. Thank you. I have no other questions.
I move we approve application number 24-00181.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations, hearing anything none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 24-00181 is approved. Calling agenda item number 37, application number 24-00182 from Sodexo America LLC.
Thank you, Commission. Patrick Baugh, General Manager, Authorized Agent. This is for the 7 football dates. The Letter Winners Club in alumni in conjunction with Nicola, aka, are licensing a portion around their clubhouse on the property to host a pregame-ish event. It's basically from 2 hours before till kickoff. I did license during the event of the time. It's a longer thing, but it is a designated area for them to have an alumni gathering kind of event.
you, commissioners.
I have no questions.
I move we approve application number 24-00182.
Second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 24-00182 is approved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Have a great night.
Calling agenda item number 35, application number 24-00168 from Pacific Suites Inc., DBA Redfish Poke Bar by Foodland.
Good afternoon, Robert Uyoka on behalf of Redfish Poke Bar by Foodland. Presenting to my right, Ms. Katrina Monton. She's the Food and Beverage Operations Manager. So the next, a 30-day extension of the existing catering liquor license application. It's related to the previous restaurant application that was just heard earlier in public hearing. I want to thank Supervising Investigator Daniel Soto for putting this on the calendar so we could have it heard today. We have no changes in investigators report.
Thank you.
so, Mr. Chair, I will make a disclosure that the ILW does represent the employees at the Foodland supermarkets, and I am their direct representative. We do not represent any of the employees that work for Redfish Poke Bar by Foodland, and this will not affect my ability to be impartial in this matter.
Thank you, Commissioner Hollinger. Your disclosure is noted for the record. Commissioners, any comments, questions, or type of action?
No questions.
I move we approve application number 24-00168.
Second,
Been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 24-00168 is approved.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Moving to requests, calling agenda item number 38, request number 23-04279 from Vibe Hospitality LLC.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Commission members. Kenneth Orphy for Vibe Hospitality LLC. This is a request to renew the license after the June 30 deadline. We had some issues with obtaining the tax clearance, which have been cleared.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioners.
I have no questions.
I move we approve request number 23-0427.
Second,
Been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Request number 23-04279 is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 39, request number 24-00160 from El Mariachi Mexican Restaurant Limited.
My name is Miguel Torres Camillo. I'm a chef at El Mariachi and also an agent of the commission. I'd like to renew my license for the ending of June. There's a miscommunication where the accountant usually does it. And he forgot to do it or something happened between, but I'd like to just renew it if it's possible. Thank you.
I have no questions.
I move we approve request number 24-00160.
Second,
Been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Request number 24-00160 was approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 40, request number 24-00211 from Juana Sailing Company, Inc.
Good afternoon, Sean Hernandez with President of Moana Sailing Company.
So this is also a request to approve renewal of your liquor license.
That's correct.
Was there any particular reason for?
So there was some miscommunication between us and the Liquor Commission office. Originally, they didn't send the information to the right address, and there was just some back and forth that we had some difficulty getting all the information before the deadline.
so just a quick question. So currently, as of right now, the Liquor Commission has all of your correct address and information for future
That's correct.
getting you guys the information, so
Correct.
you don't have to worry about it next year.
Yeah, so they actually, they called us to let us know that they sent it to the wrong address.
Okay,
So,
just want to make sure, so you guys are
yeah,
stuck in
yeah,
the same situation
For sure.
in 2024.
yeah.
I have no other questions.
I move we approve request number 24-00211.
Second,
Been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Request number 24-00211 is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 41, request number 24-00232 from FM 808.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the Commission, Keith Kiyuchi, the licensee. This is a request for a late renewal.
This is a license, if you recall, that's in safekeeping. This was on Kapilani on the property that was redeveloped. So there was a little bit of disagreement between the two partners, and one of the partners decided she wanted to do a renewal and specifically called me, and I directed her to where I thought there's a possibility the commission might approve a license.
Is there any plans at this time for the establishment?
There is, I've been actually directed by the client to specifically look at properties in Kalihi. And there's a specific area of Kalihi, if you look near the Kapalama Canal, there's no residential nearby within 500 feet, and that's why that kind of makes sense. There's an establishment in Kokea Center that used to be a 4 o'clock license that is no longer operating.
If the licensee is looking to move venues, this
Yes.
license would seem moot. Is this just to keep options open just in case, or?
Yeah, it is, but we would have to come back before the commission like we did with Saigon Passion, ask for permission to go apply for the license because there is a cabaret license in the area.
Just for all questions sake wise, so it's been in safekeeping since the Kapilani thing was terminated in 2021?
That's about right.
Okay.
That's about right. So this is kind of like the last year. I mean,
Yeah.
I told you that, I told clients that. I've had a couple of clients that said, no, they're not going to renew because I told them, I said, I don't, it's here.
Yeah,
my
longer,
shot.
right? It's longer.
Yeah,
Right? Okay.
no, I recognize that.
Okay.
So,
I have no other questions. Thank you.
Yeah, we approve request number 24-00232.
Second.
Been a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Request number 24-00232 is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 42, request number 23-01836 from the Pacific Club.
Amy Dempsey with the Pacific Club.
So this is a request to allow self-service during a few different events. I believe you've done this before, have you not?
Yeah, so the request was for this past spring, and you said, go ahead, we'll allow the spring, and if all goes well, then come back and we'll discuss the fall.
Yeah.
So this is the
And I'm
follow-up.
guessing all went well.
It did, yeah, yeah. No accidents or underage, everyone that's in the tournaments well beyond the drinking age anyway, so.
As long as nobody partake too much while they're getting there.
No overconsumption, no.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for coming back and giving us an update.
Okay, thank you.
I have no other questions.
I move we approve request number 23-01836.
Second.
It's been a motion and a second. Any objections or reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Request number 23-01836 is approved. Thank you. Calling agenda item number 43, request number 24-00039 from Ale Steak LLC.
Good afternoon, Darren Ogino, co-owner of Ale Steak LLC.
Afternoon. So we're increasing the space for Oktoberfest.
Correct.
Right. I'm a fan of that.
Yes.
Commissioners, questions, comments, type of action?
So the beer garden area, you guys are expecting to be 400 or 500 people in attendance during the whole time period? Or is it just like where it's going to be a certain time period in the beer garden, that many people?
The event's from 5 to 9 and it'll rotate, so we'll have no more than that over in any given point, but it could be more than that over the 4-hour period.
Yeah. Okay. That's the only question I have. Thank you.
I move we approve request number 24-00039.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections to reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Request number 24-00039 is approved. Thank you. Calling agenda item number 44, request number 24-00109 from Watabe Wedding Corporation.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the commission, David Banks appearing on behalf of Watabe Wedding Corporation.
Good afternoon, Mr. Banks. Commissioners, any questions or comments?
So what I've seen done in the past, and you guys, when other licensees have requested not to do the criminal history or fingerprinting and things like that. We've asked the authorized agent who's here before us to state for the record that the people listed as your officers, no one has any felony or criminal history background.
That has been represented to me by the client. It's in my letter to the commission dated July 14th, 2023. They're proceeding. We have in hand and delivered to the liquor commission 4 of the documents required. And we're just waiting on a couple more. We hope to have everything in by the end of September.
Okay, thank you. That's the only question I have. Thank you.
All right, I move we approve request number 24-00109.
Second,
Been a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Request number 24-00109 is approved. Thank you. Calling agenda item number 45, request number 24-00130 from SDB Enterprise LLC.
Again, good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the commission, Keith Kyuchi for the licensee. This license is also in safekeeping because this lease is in litigation at 1055 Alakir Street, which is the old Mandalay. My client does want to renew the license. She wants to get the tax clearance, but she's waiting on the sale of an asset in Dallas to pay off the state.
I guess the question would be, is October enough time in a sense? Because if the asset sale doesn't happen, then you're gonna come back again, right?
So
Before-
why
so I'm just asking.
why don't I make a verbal request to change that to November 30th, so we're not crunched?
I'm fine with that.
I move we approve request number 24-00130 as amended to November
30th, yes.
Second,
Been a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Request number 24-00130 as amended is approved. Thank you. Calling agenda item number 46, request number 24-00233 from Keith Kyuchi on behalf of Noi Pits Bar and Grill LLC.
Again, good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the commission, Keith Kyuchi for the applicant. This is the former site of Round Table, and before that, it was Shakey's Pizza Parlor in the Waipahu Town Center. The person coming in has considerable experience, and he's doing something that kind of makes a lot of common sense, running a Filipino restaurant in a district where I think the demographics make a lot of sense. But moreover, he's got considerable experience in California, as I indicated in the letter. He's got 3 restaurants in California, 1 in Las Vegas. So the type of license that Round Table had was a beer and wine only, but music and dancing. So we will apply for the temp in that category, but in the permanent license, he intends to apply for full bar.
And I think you mentioned in the letter that the license expired, the liquor license expired June 30th, 2021. Is that correct?
That's correct. And there has been no intervening tenant, correct.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners.
I have no questions.
I move we approve request number 24-00233.
Second,
Been a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Request number 24-00233 is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 47, Assistant Administrator, third review of application number 18-13133 from Blind Ox LLC.
My apologies. Hello, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the commission. Emmanuel Ziwakalam here on behalf of Blind Ox LLC. I can answer any questions you may have in regards to the review of this application. I would like to state for the record, as this application has been not executed for over a couple of years. I don't believe that I am able to represent the party. I believe it's the commission's rules that authorized agent forms only last for 1 year. I was notified of this by email on Tuesday. If it's okay with the commission, I think it appropriate that I actually get in contact with the licensee unless the commission decides to act otherwise today.
You were contacted for this agenda item. Do you know if the licensee was also contacted or not?
I do not. It wasn't on the email that I received.
Mr. I, do we know for the record if the licensee was provided notice of this agenda item?
I don't have that information. I apologize.
I would be inclined to continue to make sure that the licensee was provided notice since we don't have record of it. So Mr. Zabakalam could get in touch with that, but commissioners, any comments on that?
I'm not against determining or moving a motion to continue. I don't know if we need a date certain.
Don't believe we do, Mr. Wright.
I mean, we could schedule it for the August 24th meeting. I will note for the record that this application was granted in 2018. It has been 5 years.
Yes.
And one of the reasons why that rule is there is to prevent someone from taking out a license and then just holding on to it without ever operating. So it'd be helpful for us to know if they are intending to go forward with it or not.
I can provide background at this time into why the license wasn't executed. I wouldn't be able to, make any type of assertion in that regard. But in regards to background, the license was originally applied for a pizza restaurant on a BMX3 property that was under a rezoning classification hearing at the time. Since that time, I believe it's been multiple years. I do not believe that the rezoning has been granted yet. I believe that the application is still continuing. Until the application is complete, they will not be able to redevelop the building. I imagine that DPP will have another extensive review process for the actual building application that will come as they will be extending their premise to include a parcel behind the current premise. So I can only imagine that would take anywhere between 12 and 18 months to get done. That being said, I understand that there is a notification process that has to be done to the public. I believe the client does as well. And I think that those are very important points that should be addressed. I would just think it best that the client be informed and present when we do so.
We need a motion to.
We don't need a motion to continue that. Is there any other comments or questions?
We'll just set it for, if you could let us know. Oh, okay. A good date for them is all we need.
So are we going to set up for a date certain or for?
I don't believe it's a requirement, so we'll just commit to working with the applicant / licensee in terms of selecting a good date.
Okay, so agenda item number 47 is continued to calendar date to be determined by the parties.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 48, Assistant Administrator Review of Application number 20-20160 from Lonnie K. Akua Pacific Inc.
With respect to this matter, we've updated the board packet to include a letter from council asking to withdraw this application. They're not going to pursue, so you will need to take action on a withdrawal.
Yes, I did see that. We have that in the record. We did see that as part of the package today. So no further actions required for agenda item number 48.
If you will take, they actually want to withdraw the application. So if you will take action on the withdrawal of application number 20-20160.
Was what was provided to us? Can we label that a request to take action on, or do we need to actually agenda that request?
I don't believe it needs to be separately agendaed.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Commissioner.
So I move we approve the withdrawal of application number 20-20160.
Second.
So a motion in a second. Any objective to the resolution of the standing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. The application is withdrawn. Calling agenda item number 49, Assistant Administrator Review of Application number 20-20846 from Aroma Cafe.
Good afternoon, Robert Uyoka on behalf of Aroma Cafe. We do not intend to open this location under a change of circumstances, so we respectfully request for the application to be withdrawn.
Okay.
I
You want me
move
to?
we,
I
approve,
can-
withdraw application number 20-20847.
Second,
It's been a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations? Here and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Application number 20-20846 is withdrawn.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 50, Assistant Administrator, review of application number 20-21355 from Zenton Inc.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Commission members, Kenneth Thorpe appearing for the applicant. This license application was approved back in August 2020. However, because of the inability to get a permit, a process in time, we couldn't get a final inspection. We have now since gotten the permit. Construction is ongoing. We expect to have everything completed by the end of the year. So we request an extension of time until January 31, 2024 to have the license issued.
I move we approve a request for extension of application number 20-21355 to
January 31, 2024.
January 2024.
second,
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries and the extension is approved.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 51, Assistant Administrator, second review of application number 20-20038 from Mason USA Inc.
Good afternoon, Robert Uyoka on behalf of Kawagoe. This application was approved on June 2020. We're in the middle of COVID. We will not be proceeding with this application. Respectfully request for it to be withdrawn.
I move we withdraw application number 20-20038.
second.
A motion and a second. Any objections, reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries.
Oh, you're right. I was like, you see that in the 50s there.
Application number 20-20038 is withdrawn.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 52, Assistant Administrator, review of application number 22-23818 from Haleiwa Distilling Company LLC.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. Keith Hughes making a special appearance for Mia Obsiana, attorney for Haleiwa Distilling Company LLC. Like a couple of the other matters before you, they have been stalled because of the DPP permit process. We would ask for an extension for 1 year till July 31st, 2024. Pick up the license.
Okay. Commissioners.
Motion to approve request number 22-23818 with the extension to pick up the license by July 31st, 2024.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. The request is approved, extending the deadline to pick up the license to July 31st, 2024.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 53, Assistant Administrator, review of application number 22-24039 from MNS Limited.
Hi, good afternoon, Chair. My name is Paul Kosofsky, President and CEO of MNS Limited. I'd like to ask an extension for our license issuance, 6 months, end of March 31st, 2024. Due to similar reasons, delays in permitting and construction.
Okay, thank you. It's a recurring theme, Commissioners.
Motion to approve application number 22-24-24039 with the extension to pick up the license by March 31st, 2024.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations? Hearing seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. The request is approved to extend the deadline to pick up the license to March 31st, 2024.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 54 is Assistant Administrator, review of application number 22-24129 from Oishi Family Restaurant LLC.
Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, and Commissioner. Adam Miller appearing on behalf of the applicant. Appearing to my right is Nicholas Swan, the applicant's LLC manager. We would respectfully request an extension of time to the end of this year, December 31st, 2023. It's due to unforeseen construction and supply chain delays. Mr. Wong can speak further. If you have other questions.
And before there's any further comment, I would just make the disclosure that the applicant was a former client of my law firm. The applicant is no longer a client of my law firm, and this will not affect my ability to be impartial in this matter. Any other comments, Mr. Wong? Commissioners?
Motion to approve application 22-24129 with the extension to pick up the license by December 31st, 2023.
Second. Been a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. The request is approved to extend the deadline to pick up the license for application number 22-24129 to December 31st, 2023. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Calling agenda item number 55, Assistant Administrator, review of application number 22-24197 from 888 Phoenix Inc.
Good afternoon, Chair, members, Commissioner, recognition authorization appearing on behalf of the applicant. This license was approved on September 29th, 2022. Same story. I mean, there aren't any problems. You know, I would ask for 6 months, but I'm thinking if it's within the commission's discretion, maybe to July 30th of 2024. But basically be like 1 year.
Motion to approve application number 22-24197 with the extension of time to pick up the license to July 31st, 2024.
Second.
Been a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations? Hearing some, and then I also vote aye. The motion carries. The request to extend the timeline to pick up the license for application number 22-24197 to July 31st, 2024 is approved.
Thank you.
Commissioners, may I have a type of action for agenda item number 56 through agenda item number 16?
Motion for adoption of decision in order for agenda items number 56 through 60 inclusively.
Second.
It's been a motion and a second. Any objections, reservations? Hearing and seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Decision in order is entered for agenda item number 56 through 60 inclusively. I believe we will move into other business, calling agenda item number 72, Liquor Administrator, Administrative Matters. Mr. Rai.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Before I proceed, I just, for the record, all adjudication matters that are on today's agenda, number 61 through 71 will be rescheduled to August 31st and September 7th dates. With respect to number 72, I don't have anything additional to add to the weekly report that I circulated earlier today.
Thank you, Ms. Rai. Any questions or comments from the commission? Hearing and seeing none, this meeting is adjourned.